Leslie here with another episode of Parenting Paused. Welcome to all the new folks that are listening. A quick reminder that we have a Pure Joy Parent Coach training starting in June. It's an 8-month training where you learn the 5 stages of Pure Joy. It is, I must say, an amazing, outrageous training. Of course, I would say that. It's me that's teaching. But this training it's so incredibly powerful. If you're a parent, if you're a social worker, if you're a therapist, if you're a coach, someone that wants to work with parents, check it out. You spend 8 months doing so much work. It's a personal as well as a professional training. You have 5 group coaches in there, plus me teaching you. You get to work with clients. You get all kinds of supervision. So check it out on my webpage, purejoyparenting.com. We got a call coming up on May 13th. That's this Friday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. And we're going to share a little bit more. So come check it out. And I'm going to be giving away a free parent coach session on that call. All right, lovies. What I wanted to share with you today was the little bit of the after effect of Mother's Day in the States. We just had Mother's Day, and let me tell you, I think Mother's Day is one of the most loaded days of the year. I don't know about you, but when my daughter was young, I gave so much and I did so much, and all I wanted was a day to myself, a day where I was treated like a queen. And I'm a single mom, and let me tell you, my daughter didn't have any cohorts, didn't have any support, didn't have any a partner to support her. So our Mother's Days were often quite disappointing for me. Now, what I recognized in all of that was that I was not disappointed in my daughter. I had a story in my mind that I was playing out, and I was always looking for evidence of this story to be true. I had this story that I was the giver and no one ever gave to me. I had this story that I wasn't important and I didn't matter. I had this story that I didn't really belong. I had all of these stories that revolved around me not getting my needs met. Now, in my family, I was trained to be self-reliant and independent. We didn't have a lot of money. There were 3 kids starting out. Their 4th one came along. So being self-reliant and independent was really, really smart in my family. Needs, not such a good thing. You didn't want to be needy in my family. How about you? How was it for you? Well, in my family, you push those needs down and you learn to take care of others. You learn to love others. You learn to be kind to others, to give to others. But rarely did anyone sit me down and support me and guide me into how do I take care of myself. So I created this persona, this vision of myself in the world that I was always the giver. Because anytime that I would take, I would get called selfish or rude or mean, and I did not like that because in my family, I wanted to live into the high value so I could get the little bit that was there. So check in for yourself if you grew up that way, and a lot of us were trained to be that more independent, self-reliant. You might have a little needy self stored deep away inside. And my little needy self always showed up on Mother's Day. I gave and I gave and I gave and I gave and I gave. And then I just had this little fantasy that on this one day, somehow I was going to get everything repaid, or I was just going to get a crumb, or I was going to get something on that one day I could act needy. Now, you can see how this was going to fail because here I had trained my daughter, right, to take everything that I was giving. I was giving all of this to her. And then on this one day, I'm moping around and saying, you don't give anything to me and I've done everything for you. Well, this sweet little child of mine didn't do real well under that pressure. And I didn't do so well under that story that I didn't matter, that I wasn't important. So The reason I'm talking about aftermath is if you have a story like that, if you lived through a horrible Mother's Day and nobody cared for you and nobody did anything, take a little time to be with yourself today. Put your hand on your heart. Open your being to loving and being kind to the needy one in you. Of course, you give so much to your family. You give all the time and you're taken care of. And yes, of course, you deserve to have your needs be as important as your children. And I can promise you, it starts with you. Let them off the hook. Give yourself the time and the space to put your hand on your heart. Write yourself a love letter. Offer yourself that breakfast that you wanted from them. And remind yourself that you do matter. You are important. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.